Good morning, everyone. Scott Mabor here with your Medicare Missive from the pond for Monday, May 12th. Going to hopefully get through this without too much coughing. Haven't been doing many videos. The last one I think was probably in Madison, where I was attending long-term care training, which is what I want to talk about today. But I came home with a virus, was down with a temperature, a fever for a couple days after arriving back home. And the doctor said, between allergies being bad and, the cough and flu symptoms, I was just a wreck. So getting better, but, with a combination of meds. But I apologize, I haven't been around much last week. And it was, of course, a week that I needed to catch up. So anyway, again, long-term care. The reason I was in Madison was to learn about long-term care. For those of you who haven't heard the story, it's actually coming up on a year of my father's passing. He was in a memory care unit. He had Alzheimer's. And I just can't stress enough the importance of long-term care insurance. It's not for everybody. You have to have assets to protect, and you have to be at least somewhat healthy to qualify for it. It's not a give me. In many states, there's something called short-term care, which is easier to qualify. It's a shorter benefit period, but that may be enough. The advantages of long-term care are not just the money, but the fact that it gives the family permission to spend money, and that's a conversation we had. I want to leave money to the children, to the grandchildren, and my care is expensive. So there's a guilt there. There's the adult children who are providing care because they don't want to spend the money. There's all kinds of things. But what I did want to make an offer, I do have access to some software, and I need practice. So if anybody's even remotely interested in what long-term care costs, and I will tell you that for somebody in the insurance industry dealing with seniors, I was actually surprised, pleasantly so, that long-term care, the traditional long-term care policies, are less expensive than I realized. Now, it depends on your age, it depends on your health, it depends on the benefits and the bells and whistles you add to the policy. But policies are surprisingly cheaper than I would have. If you had said, hey, how much is long-term care? I would have quoted you a price 3 times what the average price is. So doing a real disservice to people. So what I'm offering is to anybody who watches this, if you would like a long-term care quote, and it's just going to be a quick quote, I need your date of birth and your zip code. But it will give you kind of a ballpark range. Then if you want to talk further about it and explore options and see if you qualify and see if it makes sense, we could certainly have that conversation. But right now I just want to have some experience playing with the software, and I might as well provide some valuable information. And you could take the information and say, whoa, no thanks. You could say, wow, that's really cheap, and do nothing. You could say, wow, that's really great, let's move forward. Doesn't matter. I'm literally just looking for people to quote. Are you married? Do you smoke? Where do you live? So your zip code and your date of birth. I'll run a quote. I'll show you some comparisons, and you can take it, leave it, throw it in the trash. Doesn't make any difference. It's just and it's not it's not to upsell you on anything. If you want to move forward, great. If you don't, that's fine too. I literally just want to play with some software. And I always find it easier to have real cases to practice on. So if anyone's interested, send me an email. Say, hey, I'm interested in getting a long-term care quote. I'll run the quote and email it over to you. And, and I think it's interesting because it'll allow me to see how the different options impact prices, how different states price, that kind of thing. And then, so it's beneficial to me. And then you get a number that is an actual number from the carriers. And I'll try to run 2 or 3 carriers as a combination. And you can see, this is what carrier A, B, and C would cost with these options at this health rating for your date of birth. Let me know if I can help. If you're interested, I'd love to practice. Please reach out, and I'll give you the email, but I'll put it in the text as well. Scott, SCOTT, at sbboston.org. That's SBBOSTON.org. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Stay well, and hope all the mothers had a great day yesterday. Thank you.